Hey everyone, it's Isaac here. Today I've got something pretty darn important for everyone and anybody working with Zillow Flex, and that's a new lawsuit out of Alaska. Now, this isn't sensational news or anything like that. I'm just telling you the raw facts here and how you can, navigate what's going on, because I'm getting a lot of questions about this. A lot of people look to me for not just like, hey, what's going on in real estate? How do you convert leads? Or what's going on with LPT Realty? But also, hey, what's going on inside the real estate industry? What does this mean? They know that I'm part of a really big organization inside of LPT for our entire platform. Also our team, right? Our coaching platform inside of LPT. We have several hundred agents. Our agents will sell about 2,000 houses. So a lot of people go, hey, Isaac, what does this mean for you? I know you're, on a team that has Zillow Flex and all these things. I'm actually wearing my Zillow beanie today. I went to Zillow Unlocked last month. And so a lot of people are asking me this. So I figured I would just give you that breakdown and help you understand exactly what's going on. Yeah, so like I said, there's a lawsuit out of Alaska, right? That it's not just targeting Zillow, it's actually naming team leaders and brokers direct. All right, so let's talk about what this means for you as an agent or a team leader or a broker. So real quickly, let's just kind of break down my understanding of it, all right? I'm not a legal professional or anything like that, but here's what I can see, is that this lawsuit is all about alleged steering practices, and it's expanded into a RICO case. And that means it's a really big deal. It's not just about Zillow, okay? It's actually calling out certain team leaders and brokers who are part of the Zillow Flex, or what they're now calling preferred program. Okay, a lot of folks might have thought, and honestly, like, this is a lot of my friends and reaction is like, hey, this is a Zillow problem. This is a Zillow issue. This really has nothing to do with us. We'll see how it goes. But now that team leaders and brokers are specifically being named, it's a wake-up call. All right, it could change how agents interact with these platforms and what kind of liability or shifts they need to be aware of. Okay, so real quickly, one of the things that people are asking me is like, okay, what does it mean if this happens, that happens, whatever? Let's just talk scenarios. Worst case scenarios, these lawsuits lead to like major changes in how these platforms operate. You need to be prepared by making sure your business isn't solely reliant on one lead source. Best case scenario, it all smooths out and there's some, settlements made and you're still in a strong position because, Zillow's a good partner. But here's the thing. Let's say either way, if you decide to make the right moves and not being dependent on any given platform, it's whether it's Zillow or not. Again, if you watch my videos, I don't hate on Zillow. I don't think they're the devil or anything like that. There's plenty of people out there that spew that stuff, and they're entitled to their opinion. I see it as a strategic part of our overall business, but we don't want to be reliant on them totally. Now, if you did diversify, you're in a strong position because your strategies are spread out. Either way, this is a reminder though. At LPT Realty, we actually believe in leveraging partners like Zillow as a piece of your business, but not the entirety of it. All right, that's why we focus on helping agents build a resilient, repeat and referral based business, leveraging things like technology, marketing, and the right leadership, so you're never really caught off guard. Okay, if you want to make sure that you're not blindsided by changes like this, here's some things that you need to do. First of all, you need to go ahead and make sure that your database is fully updated and fully segmented. By updated, I mean all the boring stuff, asking them their birthdays, the anniversaries, making sure everybody has their address inside your CRM linked to the person. The other thing you got to do is make sure that you actually have a plan for repeat and referral based business. Even your Zillow clients that you're getting, let's say nothing changes, you still should be doing this and working it seriously. Now is the time to really start working that past client database and start reaching out to people. The other thing is segmenting your database is incredibly important. Understanding who's in your database versus who's in your network that's going to give you repeat and referral based business. Understanding who's in your pipeline, right? Like, we run a robust coaching platform inside of our organization, inside LPT. So if you've never heard of it, it's called Space. That's like our team. It's our coaching platform, right? It's really just a space for real estate agents to grow, where they get one-on-one coaching and they also get transaction management, all the technology that they need, and marketing assistance, right? We guide them through their entire business. And so the reality is this, that we're really focused on helping our agents grow when using Zillow and platforms like that, and not. right? Because at LPT Realty, one of the best things is that we have a robust marketing leadership, a robust marketing platform that we can leverage in a really big way that helps, whether it's a big, organization like ours, or it's an individual agent. They're seeing tangible results by using and leveraging these marketing assets. Also, obviously, the compensation plan that's more robust and flexible than anybody else, where you can have a $5,000 cap or a $15,000 cap. We're getting stock awards, all this fun stuff like a lot of other companies, except that here we're really focused on the marketing aspect. Every brokerage is going to place their bets, right? Technology and all this other stuff. Tech is easy to backfill, right? You can have really good partners out there that are constantly working to grow things like CRMs, like Follow Up Boss and stuff like that. But having a marketing core is actually critically important, at least in the way that I look at things and the way that I see people succeed inside the organization. So anyways, the point is this, is that we got to focus on making sure we're segmenting our database, because we teach agents, you have your database, right? I actually have a whole video on how to build a repeat and referral based business. I'll go ahead and link it in the description. But you have your database. That's everybody and anybody you know. Then you have your network. Those are people that you want to do life with. Those are people that are going to give you repeat and referral based business. By the way, it's probably a different group than you think, because it's certainly not your sphere in all reality, right? Because there's people in your sphere that maybe you don't want to do life with, but they're just part of your sphere. They're other parents at the school, their kids' coach, they're an in-law of yours. I don't know, right? I love my in-laws, but that's besides the point. So the reality is this. You got to understand how to segment your database and know how to work each segment of your database appropriately. Is this group of people ready for conversion language and conversion tactics? Is this group of people really in that fact-finding stage? Is this group of people really in that long-term nurture where I build authority and credibility and trust over time? Those are the things that you really have to understand, and then you have to understand not only what do they require, but how do you do those things on a consistent and regular basis to get repeat and referral-based business. So again, back to not being blindsided by changes like this, you really want to partner with a group and with a brokerage that's got your back. All right, so here's my call to action, if you will, at the end of this video. Click the link in the description. Let's chat one-on-one. Make sure that you're all set up for success no matter what happens. We are too big, right? We sell too much real estate, and by we, I mean the agents that we give opportunity to, that we coach, that we train, that we mentor. We're too big to be completely dependent on this. All right, we can't be sitting here waiting for this thing to figure out if we're going to make it, this big lawsuit with Zillow. So no matter what happens next, you need to make sure that you are connected with the right people, with the right leadership, with the right assets, the right tools, and the right mindset, right strategy, and the right accountability around executing those things. So either way, again, looking at this lawsuit, it does scare some people, and I totally get that, right? Especially if you're going to end up getting named. That's a big issue. The bigger issue, though, is what happens if the worst case scenario goes down and you're not ready. You can't handle what's coming your way. And I don't mean like a fine or something like that, or a settlement, right? The average person is not going to be actually financially impacted by this. But what if you're on a big team? What if your team is on there, right? What if you were planning on being a Zillow partner and something bad happens? Well, were you actually able to navigate that? Is the real issue. All right, because who knows what ends up coming out of this? It could just be a bunch of settlements. I don't know. I'm going to keep you posted. Keep watching these videos. Like, comment, share. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm always giving you the best, most relevant information on all things real estate. And I'm also going to tell you right now, the best brokerage to be at throughout all this and seeing how this shakes out is LPT Realty. Go check out my other videos all about LPT Realty and how you, as an individual agent, as a team leader, and as an independent broker, any one of those, or even an agent on a team, would massively benefit from understanding what LPT is doing. And I'm also going to drop another video this week all about some ridiculous stats, a ridiculous, and I mean in all the best possible ways, ranking that we just got here in 2025 going into 2026. Anyways, make sure you go into the description below, click that link, book some one-on-one time with me. I'll help you understand the context of what's going on, what it might mean for your business, give you some strategy. If the strategy ends up being like, hey, you should also partner with us at LPT or on our space platform, cool. But if not, no big deal. I have people every single week that I connect with via these YouTube videos that we don't end up partnering in any way, but I do give them really good, solid advice. So either way, I'll see you on the other side. See you on the next video.